Bloomington-Normal Communist Party to tell us the things we need to still fight for. Woo!
Thank you. Again, everyone, as introduced, my name is Zach Carlson. I'm the current chair of the Communist Party here in Bloomington-Normal. But I'm fairly unimportant. Today we are here to celebrate the life of Tyre Nichols and figure out what we can do next. To start, as many of you may not know who we are, what we do, might go, who are these communists? What is this Communist Party? I thought you were all soul-eating Russians who are here to take your toothbrush. I'm not here to take your toothbrush or eat your soul. The Communist Party has played a large role in racial equality and against police brutality for over 100 years. We were there for the Scottsboro Boys back in 1931. We were there for Angela Davis when she was arrested. We ran Angela Davis as a vice president. We ran Charlene Mitchell as president, the first black female presidential candidate in this nation.
Woo!
We have a long history with giants such as Angela Davis, W.E.B. Du Bois, Pete Seeger, Claudia Jones, Elizabeth Gurley Flynn, William Z. Foster, and Big Bill Haywood. We also founded and refounded the NAARPR, the National Alliance Against Racial and Political Repression, the same organization that saved Angela Davis from prison. Now, despite being a historian, I'm not here to give you a history lesson. Although...
Can you?
I can.
Please don't.
I will not. I'm here to offer some direction. That coming together is great, that rallying is wonderful and is needed and is beneficial. But we need to figure out what we need to do, what we want to do next. It will be hard. It will be difficult. Just 2 years ago, the local police union, the police gang, donated $25,000 to local elections. $12,500 each to Ward 5, Nicholas Becker, and Ward 9, Sheila Motney, the literal vampire of Bloomington. So what can we do today? What can we do tomorrow, next week, next month? First, and the most immediate, is the BPD's grant they just received from the federal government. They got $500,000 from the Fed to do kind of whatever they want. They want to put it into a number of programs, not all bad. A gun buyback program, a summer camp program, some systems updates for themselves. But what is most concerning is they want to use our money, our taxpayer money, for surveillance drones. For more mobile camera stations to spy on us further. And I asked, what does a cop need a drone for? What are they going to do? Do we start throwing rocks at them and they see them over our backyards? We can. So what do we do here? We demand the city council vote no on any of these measures. This grant goes through the city council. They must sign off on it. Simply vote no. Talk to your city council people. Demand that they vote no on anything that involves more cameras, more fun tech for the police, because they don't need it. Secondly, on the topic of cameras, there are the flock cameras around town. Flock is a license plate reader. There are about 8 cameras around town. It's a 2-year contract. That contract is up next spring. So we still have another year to go. However, this is when you start talking to your council people to demand that they cancel that contract. They do not renew it. They've done nothing with those cameras. They'll cite, oh, we saved so many vehicles and did this and did that. How many reports did they run? How many images do they have? How do they use images? They don't tell us. We don't know. They refuse to tell us. They'll be like, oh, that's confidential. It is it's for our purposes alone. We don't know anything about these things. Next, we can demand the McLean County to finally use the Safety Act. While it is in court right now, and it will succeed, it will pass, they can still use it. They refuse to. We still have cash bail in Bloomington, and that is unacceptable. So we can demand McLean County Law and Justice Center use that now, use that tomorrow, and make those changes that we want, that pass at the state legislative level. I got more, don't worry. We can strengthen the Police Safety and Community Relations Board, the PSCRB. Currently, the PSCRB is a review board. It looks over a few things. It checks that, they're in compliance here and there. We need to give them the teeth to actually make substantial changes to this city. We want to work towards full community control over the police. Woo! Following the guidelines and demands from the NAARPR, and I quote, whether the demand is for defunding, demilitarization, or transparency, every police department, every police policy, every dollar spent on law enforcement, and every officer, chief, and superintendent should be subject to the will of the people, not the other way around. The only way to ensure that the disjointed pleas for justice, accountability, and transparency can be backed by the power needed to make them possible is through the democratic control of the police through a directly elected civilian council. It's a lot of words. This means another elected position that we get to vote for. And what should they do? What can they do? What do they need to do? We need to exclude all current and former police from that board. Yeah. We can demand that they have full access to all internal investigations to misconduct. And we can provide them even more power to have oversight and control over the day-to-day practices of the police. Woo! Lastly, for now, for today, for tomorrow, local elections are happening in a number of wards this year, with 4 and 6 having races. 4 is the Near East Side. It is just over yonder. If you are anywhere from Wesleyan to the end of Bloomington to Veterans, that's Ward 4. There's Ward 6, which is all of downtown, over to Miller Park, down to Morris. That's Ward 6. Know who is running. Know where they stand. Vote appropriately. Only 10% of registered voters come out to vote during a local election. 10%. People win with 300 votes. There are at least 30, 40 people here today. That's 10% of that race, if we all lived in the same area at least. We can make that happen. We can make that change. It's not hard. Talk to your neighbors. Get them out. But that is today. What can we do over time? We can even further strengthen the PSCRB to have the final authority over police, have oversight policy and budget, including writing and reviewing policies, full authority on disciplinary measures and legal recourse, including subpoena power and the convening of grand juries, and have negotiation power on police union contracts to hit them where that money is, to make them suffer. Black folks are still questioned, detained, and arrested far higher than their peers. BPD recently said that they are proud that the disparity came down, but the disparity came down from 40% to 30%. Yeah, that's progress. I don't see how that's a lot of progress. And that's not even counting normal, who still arrest and ticket and fine minorities and students at a far higher rate.
Boo!
Last page, I swear. Lastly, being involved in future local, county, and state elections. We passed the Safety Act that way. We got people on board. We got people elected. We need to keep doing that. It's the only way we can end a qualified immunity. It's the only way that we can start to charge these police for murder, for actual day-to-day murder, not just the exceptions, not the, like we see in Memphis, right? That is the exception to the rule. Anyone ever hate motorcycles since 2020? Because I do. Sorry.
Not all motorcycles.
Not all motorcycles, I'm sorry. But moving on. It is critical that we run in these elections as well. Currently, there are 3 wards going uncontested in Bloomington. Last election cycle, there were plenty of county positions, including the sheriff, that went uncontested. It is a policy failure, and I don't want to ruffle too many feathers, of the Democratic Party, of the McLean County Democrats. I love my Democrats here. You all are fine people. I love you. But you got to do better, or else we'll show up instead. So please, get your act together, or we'll take over.
That's right.
I ask everyone here to please get involved in any organizations present that were mentioned or otherwise doing great work. We can only come together and solve these issues as a community through organization. Because without that, we're just individuals yelling into the ether that they will dismiss. So please get involved. Reach out to any of us here. And lastly, I want to end. I don't think I see Stephen anymore. No, Stephen's no longer here. Stephen is holding a police abolitionist poetry speech, slam, what do you want to call it, at Bobsey Bay, down the block. I invite everyone over there. He's a great comrade. And with that, solidarity, and thank you.
All right, you guys, I would just want to say thank you to everyone that came out here today. Hassan, Linda, Robert, Alexandra, and the Zacks. Thank you guys for coming up and enlightening us. You guys can stay around, hold signs if you'd like. Other than that, we're all done. But thank you guys so much. Together, we will win. And if there's any media here that would like to talk, you can check in with Zach G. And if you want any takeaways, any contact info, please stop by the table. There's information.